Hot news: two competing plans to end shutdown fail in the Senate. The New York Times. Washington. A Democratic plan to reopen the government without money for President Trump's border wall failed in the Senate on Thursday, sending lawmakers back to the drawing board to forge a compromise that could end the stalemate and bring about a quick resolution to a partial shutdown now nearing its sixth week. But the tally still fell short of the 60 votes it needed to advance, 50-44. The defeated measure: the longer the federal government remains closed for business, more services are affected. The action came just after Mr. Trump's own proposal to reopen the government and devote $5.7 billion to his border wall failed on a similar near-party line vote that underlined the depth of the divide. That measure paired the back-to-back votes illustrated the gulf between Mr. Trump and Democrats in the ongoing shutdown saga. But lawmakers, is this the beginning of the end, or is it just the end of the beginning? We shall find out. House Democrats are discussing a proposal to spend as much as $5.2 billion on what they are calling a smart wall with drones, sensors, some additional fencing, but no wall from the Pacific to the Gulf of Mexico. The urgency is mounting. Friday marks this. Mr. Trump's plan was loosely modeled after an idea that was the centerpiece of quiet bipartisan talks to strike a compromise over the past several weeks to end the shutdown. Among the ideas, while it included some of those components, the measure that failed on Thursday was dismissed as a non-starter by Democratic leaders because it substantially narrowed DACA eligibility, and extends it for only 3 years, while making major changes to asylum law that would make it harder for migrants fleeing violence and persecution to find refuge in the United States. It would also the Democratic plan would reopen the government 2 weeks and provide disaster aid, allowing time for a compromise on border security spending. House leaders have been keeping their chamber in session through the afternoon to leave room for the possibility that the Democratic measure would prevail in the Senate, and they could call a vote on it later on Thursday and send it to the White House. I am still optimistic in the goodness of the Republicans in the Senate, that they will care enough about these people that they will say, okay, well, give 2 weeks so that we can negotiate an evidence-based, cost-effective, value-respecting way to protect the American people with border security, said Speaker Nancy Pelosi of California. That doesn't seem like. Mr. Trump fired his explanation very simply: without a wall it all doesn't work. Our country has. The House took separate action on Thursday to pass legislation to fund the Department of Homeland Security through February 28, with all but 5 Republicans voting no. 1 Democrat.
Raindrop, drip, drop top, top smoking, no cooking, the hot